today we're going to focus in on your legs. I will give modifications for sitting in a chair, and then most of the exercises are going to be on a mat. If you can, it's a great place to keep your body kind of in midline and give your body just a different way to work out. And then we might do a few in standing, or we can do them in sitting. So let me know if there's anything that you need going through the class. Toss it in the chat or just unmute yourself and shout it out. And we'll get started. Let me pull up my timer. Maybe. All right, well, let's warm up just a little bit. So let's start with some high marches. So if you're standing, knees to chest, or sitting, you can also do these just on the mat. Just bring your knees up and down to chest. I need to scoot my camera back while you keep moving those legs. All right, so knees to chest, a couple more seconds here. And then take it out a little wider, so you can bring your hip out to the side, either high steps or just out towards that same shoulder. So right knee towards right shoulder, wherever you're at. Make sure that that core is engaged. I can always tell when mine is not, because then my back starts popping more. And then take it over wherever you are, right knee towards left shoulder. So it might not be a very big movement. You can use your hands to help give you a little bit of a stretch. Good morning, Danica, welcome.
Hi, sorry, I had to register again to get in, so.
Oh.
Oops.
No worries. We are just warming up, just moving our legs up and down to the sides. Give yourself a few hip circles. We're going to focus in on legs today. Awesome. All right. And then if you're sitting in a chair or down, extend those legs out, or maybe one at a time, and with a flat back, hinge forward towards your legs. Feel that stretch and just extension. It doesn't have to be very far. Go as far as you want. Grab a strap if you want to help put around your toes and pull those toes back. This is just gentle. You're still warming up, so you shouldn't feel like a really big pull or anything. Take your toes and point and flex. So in sitting or standing, or sitting or on the mat, legs outstretched in front of you. Point and flex those toes. Nice. Roll one ankle clockwise and counterclockwise. Just getting some movement through the joints. Nice, and switch direction, or switch legs, not directions. And now switch directions. Great. Well, let's fire up the core a little bit. So we're gonna do just some crunches. If you can, if you're in a chair, you can just hinge forward as far as you can, find that balance point, and then pull yourself back with as much of your abs as you can. If you're on the ground, hands to your thighs, back flattens to the ground, and you're gonna curl yourself up. I like to put my hands on my thighs because you're gonna just let your hands drag up towards your knees just to double check your alignment here. Nice and slow. Nice, keep it going. Couple more. Great, hold this next one up, or wherever you are, little pulses. Head in line with your spine. 3, 2, 1, and down. Nice work. So let's start with, we'll start with a few just gentle squats, if you can do that. I got a yes from Gilbert, we're ready. If it's easier for you just to do little pulses up either on the chair or on the mat, just to fire up those quads. All right, so Amanda, if you want to just stay there, you can just kind of push yourself up. Just dig those feet in so you're really firing up those legs, okay? If you're gonna stand, then let's stand wider than shoulder distance apart. As you squat down, your butt goes back, so the weight shifts more into your heels. All right, so if you look at my feet when I squat down, I could lift my toes up pretty easily. What you want to try to avoid is your knees really far forward. Keep them back like you're sitting in a little kid's chair. Other modifications for this, let's start on those. Go ahead and start with 10. Nice modifications. I'm going to show you one more modification. You can always take a ball at your back along the wall, and you can squat down while the ball helps glide. You put a little pressure back into it. Just go as deep as you feel like you can go. Part squat, that's fine. And then that should probably be about 10. Shake it out. Nice. We're gonna fire up the inside of your legs. So we're gonna do plie squats. So what that looks like, move my camera up higher, is your legs are out wider, like you're doing like horse pose in yoga. My toes are pointed at like a 45 degrees. So they're not all the way out like a ballerina, but they're not straight like a regular squat. Halfway in between. Then your knees, you don't want them to come forward. You want them to pull back, which means you're firing up those inner thighs. Let me see if I can show you. If you are just if you're on the mat, I'll show you your modification here in a moment. So you're gonna squat straight down and straight up. So in a regular squat, your butt's going out. In a plie squat, you're aiming that tailbone straight for the ground, knees pull back. Nice. Now on the mat, you're gonna do some butterfly or frog movements here. So feet squeeze together. You're gonna go out and in with those legs. All right? Fine, and you can just do heels, whatever you've got. Squeeze those legs together. Drive the motion with those inner thighs. Nice, 10 here. Nice flat backs wherever you're at. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. How do those feel? A little different for some people, I imagine. So, good. We're firing up different areas of our legs, all right? Let's go into some calves. So, and then we're gonna do some more mat work. So for calves, we're gonna go 3 ways for what you can do. You're gonna do toes straight, toes pointed out, and then pigeon-toed. So straight toes, duck-toed, pigeon-toed. If you're on the mat, you're gonna do these same movements, you're just gonna pump your calves instead of raising up onto them, okay? So onto your calves, I'll show you here my legs. We're gonna do toes straight, and we're gonna go up on your toes and back down for 10. Use something to help hold on to balance. Keep it going. Dowels work really well to kind of be a balance point, but still makes your core work. You can use a corner of a wall. If you're sitting, same thing, toes straight. Chairs work great. That's probably 10. Point those toes in like you're pigeon-toed. Just to what feels comfortable on your knees, you guys. Don't over twist. Just a little bit. Use something to balance if you need to, up and down. Only go up as high as you can. That feels good to you. Last 2 and 1. Roll those ankles, shake it out a bit. And then duck-toed, so toes point out, heels in, up and down on those toes. Keep it going. Now, why do we do this in all the different directions? Well, this is where you are walking, right? Most of us walk with our feet pointed out. Some of us walk with our feet pointed in. But when you're on uneven surfaces, your feet are going all over the place. So we want to train your muscles in those different motions. Last 3, 2, 1, or wherever you're at. Nice. Give yourself a few rolls of the ankle, and then we're going to head down to the mat for the rest of the exercises. Or stay seated in your chair. Grab those bands. Nice work so far. You can give your calves a little shake out, a little shake on the quads and the hamstrings. For a lot of this, I'm going to keep my band in a loop. If you have a band that is not in a loop and you can't tie it, that's fine. You'll just hold both ends differently. We're going to start with the band around your knees and on your backs. If you can. We're going to do a couple pelvic tilts. Warm up that pelvis a little bit more and lift. So you're going to rotate that pelvis so your back is flat to the ground. Abs, low abs are engaged, and then you're going to roll up from here. The band is there to keep a reminder that your knees should stay still in line with your hips. We're going to do a couple things here in a moment with that band around your knees. If you can't get there for the tilts, that's fine. If you're in a chair, same thing, you're just gonna roll those hips forward and back, squeeze, and come back to straight. Right? So squeeze and maybe even lift up a little bit if you can with your arms to give you a little bit of space. Get in 3 more tilts wherever you're at, and then we'll finish on the ground here. And Amanda, the rest we're gonna do kind of in side line in a few minutes, so pick your challenge. All right, nice. Next, either stay on your back or up in your chair, band just above your knees, feet stay glued to the ground, and you're just gonna do your band, your knees out and in. So you're gonna squeeze those hips out, squeeze them in. Wherever you're at, Core should be engaged. Back should be straight. Head in line with your spine. You can also do these in side lying. Get a few more in where you just do one leg open and closed at a time. Last 3, 2, 1. Nice. All right. Next exercise. If you're on the mat, go ahead and go into side lying if it's comfortable for you. If you're in the chair, then I'll give you the modification there. So on this one, you're gonna, the motion, if you're in side lying here, remember, you don't wanna let those hips roll forward or roll back. Stay in a straight line. What we're gonna do is knee bent on the ground, upper leg, toes back towards your face. We're gonna lift up and down, straight leg, squeezing here at the hip. If you're sitting, it's the same thing. You're gonna go out and in, one leg at a time. Added challenge. Band either stays around your knees here and lift up and down, or you can hold the band at your foot, on your foot, and down here and up and down. Keep it going. Last 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Core engaged wherever you are, up and down. Active through that leg. So if you're doing this with resistance or just your leg motion, you want to be active and purposeful through. So we're squeezing. Keeping that leg core engaged this whole time so it's still. So you're focusing in here. 3, 2, 1. Nice. How'd that feel? Good? All right, so that was our hip straight up and down. And we've done clamshells, but we just did them 2 legs at a time. Let's check on my time. All right, cool. So next exercise, we're gonna actually bring the leg forward. And for this one, you can keep the band around your knees. You can always hold the band around the foot and give yourself a little resistance. That way, also forces you to have to stabilize. So the goal of this exercise is control. So you're gonna keep it hip height, if you can, the whole time. Toes back, slowly bring that leg forward. Don't let it shift, bring it back to start, which is right in midline. So forward, back. If you need a little extra help, that's the band or the strap also can do that because you can help guide your foot forward and back. If you're in the chair, go up and down with this one. Up and down. All right. Nice control. I have no idea how many that is. Get in a few more here. And then let's switch sides. Nice. Switch sides. So on all of these, this is all about the control of the motion. It's very deliberate on what you're doing and purposeful. So active through that core. active all the way through that leg. Fire it up. So you can even see, like, my leg's just kind of hanging out here. When I fire it up, you can see that it gets straighter and more toned. So we're going to go forward and back to center, keeping a straight line with that hip. It's not as far as you can reach your leg. It's all about how much control can you have coming forward and back without losing your core and without having any kind of wobbling in through that hip. Nice. Few more here. 2, 1. All right. So let's do a band around your knees one more time. We're going to do those 3 exercises back to back on one side. 6 reps of each, and then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to go clamshells, straight legs, and then forward 6 times. So of each. So here we go. Core is engaged wherever you're at. Here we go. Clamshells. Keep that back flat. 2, 1, straight into the straight leg raises, up and down. Feeling it here in our hips. Toes pulled back towards your face. Belly's engaged, low back is supported. Last one, hold. Slow kicks forward. If you're on your side, you can use this hand in front of you to help you stabilize. It's kind of a marker, so you can, if you're laying back, you can tell, or if you're waiting too much through, keep it going. 2, 1, hold up here, hold straight leg, pull those toes back, 5 little pulses here, up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice, slowly back down and switch sides. Hips burning yet? So I feel like hips sometimes are something that we forget to train. We look at our quads or hamstrings or calves, but we don't tend to often work on our hips and the stabilizers there. So here we go, clamshells first. You want strength and flexibility through here. It's gonna help you with everything else. Sitting posture, standing, walking, running, kayaking, whatever you got. All your activities, it all comes from our core. Last one here, straight legs, toes back, up and down. Pull those toes back towards your face. Belly's engaged, nice work. Last one, hold. Forward kicks, nice and slow and controlled. Probably notice one side is different than the other. That's okay. Do whatever you can on each side. Last 2, 1. Hold this here. Lift up a little higher, straight leg, pull those toes back, little pulses, up and down. Keep breathing. Last 3, last 2, last 1. Whew, nice job. And I think that is right on the money for 10:30. So nice work, everybody. Make sure you stretch out. That's just a quick little fire up of the core and your hips. A great way to start off different exercises and warm-ups. So nice work today.